The Wire slander will not be tolerated.
Three characters, one-dimensional in The Wire.
That's
tell
the
me someone
dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
The Wire is hands down one of the greatest TV shows ever, and personally one of my favorites. It brought to life some of the most legendary characters we've ever seen, like Avon, Omar, Stringer Bell, McNulty, Kima, Chris, Snoop, Bubbles, Prop Joe, Michael, and the list goes on. So I was just as shocked as Bomani Jones hearing outright hate against The Wire and his black characters.
But like, what do we know about Omar, besides like as a character, like in a human way, besides he's just gay?
Especially from somebody outside the black community trying to downplay the richness of some of the most iconic, not only black characters, but characters, period, to ever be put on screen.
The thing is, you only got to fuck up once. Be a little slow, be a little late, just once. And how you ain't gonna never be slow? Never be late.
And doing all that just to prop up another series of white characters.
Serious?
It's not like Sopranos is a meditation on the concept of American family.
Now, I'm not trying to say this take was racist, but But I'm Jew. Welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it.
Did you watch The Wire? Sopranos, dude. Just watch Sopranos.
Oh, dude, you're the second person that told me this week, actually. So
it's just there's nothing even close.
Adam, did you watch The Wire?
Yeah.
And you think The Sopranos is better than The Wire?
Yeah.
I think that The Sopranos
Every
to The
character
Wire.
is one-dimensional in The Wire.
That's
tell me someone
dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. That's the crazy shit I've ever heard. Every character in The Wire is one-dimensional.
Yeah.
It's really hard to take race out of a statement like that. I watched The Sopranos, I watched Breaking Bad, I watched The Wire from start to finish. I love The Wire. It's my favorite show. I relate way more to The Wire and the characters in The Wire than I do The Sopranos or Breaking Bad. I didn't really connect with Tony Soprano's whiny-ass family. I love Breaking Bad, but I didn't connect to Walter White's life either. So I can say personally, I like The Wire more. I related more to those characters without shitting on The Sopranos or Breaking Bad and saying their characters were terrible or they didn't have any depth. I feel like that statement is crazy and laced with racism, whether it's intentional or not.
Actually, they're kind of like everyone's kind of like a cartoon character of a cop or of a yeah.
Are you serious?
It's not like Sopranos is a meditation on the concept of American family.
You think The Sopranos has all this level of depth in the set? You know, Sopranos is a show about a bunch of dumb dudes. Every single dude on Soprano is dumb.
That's a crazy statement. A lot of Tony's crew and the older gangsters that got out of jail throughout the show were all like stereotypical Italian mafioso tough guys. They were stereotypes basically. And The Sopranos had, I want to say, 7 seasons, where The Wire only had 4 seasons, I think, with more characters that would kind of change throughout the seasons as they were telling different stories. And there was so much depth to every season, to every character, to what they were dealing with and going through. All the way from season 1, if we talk about those guys in the pit, their lives and what they were going through, all the way through the school season, where we got to see their lives, what their home lives were like, what their struggles were like, what they had to go through to even get to school and try to be good kids. Saying there's no depth when talking about black people and black stories, but there's so much depth when talking about white stories is crazy.
Every single dude on Soprano is dumb.
Well, it's about a bunch of cavemen interacting with the modern world.
How's that depth?
But they have all this depth and nuance to each other. Big pussy, so many levels, right?
Yeah, of course.
Outside of my man with
best friend. He betrayed his best friend.
Oh, that never happened on The Wire.
Thank you. Pussy Bumpacero, I think that was his name, was Tony's best friend who was in and out of the seasons. He disappeared for a while, came back, and basically they found out he was a rat. Spoiler alert. And then Tony and I think it was Pauline Seal killed Big Puss on a boat, right? That's what he's praising as so much depth and storytelling. When really the relationship, the growth, the deterioration between Avon and Stringer Bell has way more depth and emotion to it than Puss's story does. These are 2 dudes that came up from the street together, that held each other down, even though they had opposing views on things, that got to a point where they were in their lives and careers where one of them had to go because both of them couldn't run the organization together. And there's so much context around them making the decisions to turn on each other, whether that was Stringer Bell giving up Avon to be arrested, or whether that was Avon setting up Stringer Bell to be killed by Omar and Brother Muzone. And Stringer Bell looking around and finally realizing he was out of options. He couldn't talk his way out of something that happened in the streets, which he always tried to do, like approach it like a business, and finally just lashed out and was like, do it then. It's one of the most iconic moments from that show. This is pissing me off.
Outside of my guy with the choo-choo trains, I don't feel like none of them dudes really...
With the choo-choo trains. Bobby, he got killed during the war with New York because he was out looking at choo-choo trains and not watching his back.
I don't feel like none of them dudes really had levels like you say.
What is Omar's depth? He's gay? I mean, like, what is that? Just tell me. He's an amazing character, right? He's so scary, right? But like, what's the conflict in Omar?
The depth of Omar is at once his rigidity to a particular code of the way that you were supposed to live, though fairly consistently fudging on that a little bit as it mattered to what the life was that he knelt or the people that he felt had been done wrong. His willingness to adapt the code to the people rather than the code sticking to himself.
Right. Throughout The Wire, Omar was one of the only people that had a code that 100% stuck with it. You can put Avon in there too, because Avon definitely believed in like the street code rules that applied. And Omar really stuck to that code, even though he was in the street dealing with a bunch of different people that really didn't have codes or beliefs or principles. That made him stand out as a character. Him being gay is not why everybody remembers him. It's what he did in the street, how feared he was, how respected he was, and how every gangster in Baltimore knew who Omar was and not to mess with him. Or else they were gonna have to deal with Omar terrorizing them for the rest of their lives. To just sum him up as the gay character is crazy work.
Is a significant
but
part.
what do we know? You sure that's on?
That's his part. That's
but like, what do we know about Omar besides, like, as a character, like in a human way? Like,
so what do we know about
what's
Omar?
What's motivating him in that capacity besides he's just gay?
Well, what we know about Omar is that he traffics in a space of a very consistent empathy.
Did you ever watch it?
He's an amazing character.
I watched the first season.
Like, I'm just trying to think of like
the problem you would have getting into The Wire is it The Wire.
The Wire's amazing.
Wire's
it's
amazing,
a great show.
but The Wire does purposely start slow.
Yeah, you have to get past the first 7 episodes.
They weed you out for sure.
I need the first episode to hit. And
the first episode hits in its way, but you need to
like The Wire and Euphoria are not are set up completely.
The character. So as much as I hate Stringer Bell, you're saying there's no nuance to Stringer Bell.
What, he goes to community college? What?
Oh,
he's trying
don't
to
get me
go
wrong,
straight.
I'm a big critic of that. No, but the Stringer Bell nuance is the strong desire to be anything other than what he is, in the attempt to try to cleanse himself and make himself a member of legitimate society.
That was so well said. That's why I really like Bomani Jones. Simply put, how Avon said it, Stringer Bell was a man without a country. He was from the street, but really wasn't about the street life, didn't really want to be from the street. He wanted to be a businessman. But he went in the business world and found out he wasn't good enough for the business world, that they wouldn't accept him, they were playing him, stealing his money, and he wasn't as smart as he thought he was. So he wasn't hard enough for the street and wasn't smart enough for the business world. That's the conflict that Stringer Bell found himself in. He thought he was smarter than he was. He got played by the street dudes like Prop Joe and Marlo, and he got played by the business people. That's context, that's layers, that's experience. You cannot say people like that do not have depth or character when you're saying people like Paulie and Puss Bumpin' Sarah do.
Only to learn that truly he exists in a caste system that will never allow him to get to the next level of the place that he wants to be.
Yeah.
The smugness, yeah.
That's the nuance there.
Sopranos.
I don't think you got to watch anymore. I think
that was just top of the dome. That was incredible.
Thank you.
Seeing work was just unbelievable.
I appreciate that.
Okay, but have y'all watched Snowfall though?
No nuance to the white boys selling dope who think they somehow better than the black people who sell dope.
Have you watched Snowfall?
I did.
You like it?
I did.
Snowfall's fire.
Snowfall's good.
You want to talk about character depth and character development.
Snowfall?
I can tell you right now, for his assessment of The Wire, he ain't watched no goddamn Snowfall.
I mean, if he's talking about character development, that is.
Oh yeah. No,
like,
Snow. I like Snowfall.
Did you ever watch Oz?
That for real was an incredibly horrible, dismissive take. And even his response after Bomani explained all of that was, like, come on, man. His inability to see depth and nuance in any character from The Wire is directly tied to his inability to identify and empathize with anyone black. This man literally cannot see the humanity and black characters of one of the greatest shows ever made. Well said. Things like this is why I truly don't believe in white people reviewing black art, specifically in the case of rap music, because it becomes clear most do not have the ability to properly connect with black art because they do not see the trials of blackness as being universal. And I just wanted to see some of these comments. Not a race guy, but this is normally the take I hear from people who can't process expressions of emotional depth and agency from non-members of their in-group. I don't care about white people's opinions on black shows. I don't expect them to understand most of them are incapable. Again, his take was absolutely insane and dismissive, especially after Bomani explained the character depth of somebody like Omar or Stringer Bell. For him just to be like, and not really have any counterpoints to how the Sopranos characterizations are better than The Wire. That definitely seemed like it came from a place of not caring about or understanding other, and just not really liking black media for real. I'm glad Bomani stood on business though. But thanks for watching. Y'all let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Also, make sure you check out the next video, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram for behind the scenes and life stuff, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.